all seen those channels on social media from Facebook to Instagram to YouTube, TikTok, across the board. You have these faceless channels that are making medical claims, they're making nutritional claims, and you not once ever see a doctor. You not once ever see actual attribution. All you see are these beautiful images, these vibrant images with these claims saying, this vegetable is terrible. This fruit is great. This one's going to cure cancer. This one's going to clear your arteries. But what's true and what's not? When you have a chronic illness, or you're obsessed with health, you take things seriously because you want to try everything. But you have to be careful. We're with Dr. Michael Dansinger, world renowned diabetes reversal and artery health expert. And he is here. We're going to look at some of these claims and he's going to give you some of the things that you need to watch out for, right? Dr. Danziger, you're probably shaking your head with all of the items I shared with you over the past week of what's being put out there and what people are sharing.
Absolutely, Kim. I think this will be a great conversation. I think it'll be eye-opening for me and for many of the viewers. And let's get into it.
Okay, so I am going to share my screen and we're going to start with broccoli. And let me know if you can't see it. I can try my best to zoom in here just a little bit. There we are. Broccoli has no nutritional value, Dr. Danziger. It's like shredding paper that goes through one end and out the other.
Yeah, absolutely false. So, broccoli is healthy, and it's, I think it's creative of people to take something that is healthy and to make it seem like a problem.
Mm,
So, it's just false. And broccoli has all a wide range of health properties, and um, it is low in calories. It's high in vitamins and minerals, and you can say bad things about it, but it's well known to be a healthy food. So all the fruits and vegetables are healthy, and broccoli is right at the top of the list. And so this is a good example of how you can say negative things that are false
yeah.
on the internet. I'd love to see some other examples of fake news.
Yeah, we do have quite a few. I'm going to go ahead and I am going to pull up I have this folder that I have here. And we're going to start probably with actually chia seeds, which seeds can be really great. Um, whoops, I shared the wrong screen. I'm going to stop share. It's always hard with these trying to manage the whole thing yourself, right? There we are. Did you know that mixing chia seeds and coconut water flattens the stomach and floods your cells with hydration? Maybe there's some truth to it.
Yeah, so this one's interesting, and so that sounds good to me. I think it's an exaggerated claim. And so chia seeds are healthy, and is um, coconut water is it has some sugar in it. It is fat free. It's probably not as there's some nutrients and minerals and vitamins in coconut water. There's worse things you can drink, but there's better things you can drink, like regular water.
With
So
lemon in it.
that combination of chia seeds and coconut water is healthy in moderation, and there's nothing particularly special or medicinal about it. It won't flatten your stomach any better than some other healthy foods. And so it's interesting to see, such a bold health claim that you could really say, you could have said that about broccoli, right? You could say broccoli flattens the stomach and floods your cells with hydration just as easily as you say it about this.
Okay, did you know that mixing walnuts and blueberries sharpens your memory and slows aging? It sounds like they're taking just some independent claims
Mhm.
on things. There are a lot of
Right.
research studies on blueberries, but just putting them together and suddenly making the claim that you're going to get smarter, you're going to be more assertive, and you're going to live longer just because you eat blueberries and walnuts together. That's a little bit of an
Yeah,
extreme.
there's so you could take a combination of two healthy foods. Let's say it's broccoli and raspberries, or any vegetable and any fruit, and you can say that these two together does the same thing, sharpens your memory and slows aging. So it's false to say that this is a unique combination, and that if you use some other nut like cashew or some other berry like raspberry, it would be equally healthy. And you can debate which berry is the healthiest, and you can debate which nut is the healthiest. They all have strengths. And so when you're eating nuts and berries, it's a good thing, and it does contribute to anti-aging effects and helping to keep the heart and the brain and the arteries healthy. And so when I see claims like this, I can't be that pessimistic and say, oh, they're liars, but they are exaggerating. And
Yeah.
because you do that, because that's what gets people to take a look.
Yeah. I definitely did click on it. Here's another one. Did you know that when you mix sweet potato and cinnamon, you can get rid of inflammation and boost your digestion?
Yes, partially true. I've never steered people away from sweet potatoes unless they have a severe blood sugar issue. And I steer people away from white potatoes
Mhm.
and sweet potatoes. Like I've said many times, the things that make it colorful are good for the arteries, and there's carotenoids in there, for example. And when you eat healthily, it does decrease inflammation and it can boost digestion, especially when you're replacing unhealthy stuff, let's say like classic mashed potatoes, for example. But there's nothing that makes this any better than broccoli or carrots or um,
Oh, wait, we're
squash.
getting to the
To,
carrots very soon. And we also are getting to another claim about potatoes in just a moment, but
okay,
mixing avocado and egg accelerates cell growth and reduces your belly fat.
so. If I said with great enthusiasm and with all my authority that yes, there's something very special about this unique combination of eggs and avocados that does this, it might sound convincing, because if I say, sound normal, and if I say it with great authority, it starts to sound very convincing. Like sometimes I've seen infomercials for products that I know are basically fake, but sometimes it catches you in a mood where you say, there's that sounds true, and I'm gonna go for it. I'm reminded about my great aunt Bess, who used to have a favorite lunch where she would mash avocados and hard-boiled eggs and sardines together in a
Ooh,
bowl, and she would call it mishmash. And she would
wow.
offer it to me when I was a boy, and I thought it was disgusting.
Of
But if I
course, I would
had
too.
eaten it, it would have been especially healthy. So, so it's true that avocados have a lot of health properties, and I especially like the white part of the egg because that's where most of the protein is.
Okay. Did you know eating chickpeas? This is another interesting one. Did you know that eating chickpeas with sweet potato and broccoli sprouts is the detox dinner plate that activates your liver's cleanup crew and reduces inflammation and rebuilds your skin while you sleep? So, if you have this food one night, you're going to wake up a new person.
Well, Kim, what do you think I'd have to say about this one?
I think you'd say that the broccoli sprouts are healthy. The chickpeas provide some great protein, just as you said with the sweet potato. You would never steer a person away from a sweet potato unless they have high blood sugar. So independently, each one could pack a nutrient punch, but in terms of the claims that you're going to basically wake up a new person and your liver is suddenly going to be 100% healthy, probably not.
Right. Yeah, this looks like a tremendously healthy meal. Those look like alfalfa sprouts to me. Oh, that says broccoli sprouts. Okay, I've never even heard
Yeah,
of broccoli.
I had broccoli sprouts, but those don't look like the broccoli sprouts I have
Right. For
in
all we
my,
know, this is generated by AI.
yeah.
Who knows? This whole thing might have be be 100% AI generated.
That's what I'm thinking with most of these faceless channels. I think they're all generated by
Yeah.
AI. AI just combs the web, finds
Uh-huh.
claims. You could even put in and say,
Yes.
hey, tell me which foods fight inflammation. And then they just generate it into an image and a statement. And there you go.
So I have mixed feelings about these because here it's promoting healthy things, those sprouts and the um, that's a healthy plate of food. I just don't like to see like exaggerated health claims that make it
Yep.
sound like some special combination.
Yeah, but here's one you might. Well, wait a minute. We recommend you avoid it. Squash or chayote is a good replacement. The squash family is vast, so sweet potatoes they're telling people to avoid because of the high amount of inorganic nitrogen. That, wow, it's
You
interesting.
could just say the same. You could say sweet potatoes contain a high amount of inorganic nitrogen. We recommend you eat it. You could say the same thing, but so
It just
so
causes this one, it
yeah,
causes fear. This is another one of my favorites.
yeah.
Oh, you're going to love this one. Key limes, 100% natural, 100% alkaline, and it is not acidic to the body, so it will not harm you. Its pH levels above 7. Use it to flush out waste, foreign matter, mucus, toxics, and such from your body. But lemons, are they 100% unnatural, 100% hybrid, and will harm you? 'Cause
So
I thought lemons were good for you.
yeah, this is more fake news that's saying limes are great, but lemons are terrible. You could make up the opposite too, just as easily, and say, oh, lemons are great and limes are terrible. Um, but those are all exaggerations. What, let me say something that is sort of a recurrent theme in some of these is that the fruits and vegetables that we eat in modern times are not the same as the fruits and vegetables that were eaten in prehistoric times. And
Mhm.
so gradually, over many years um, of agriculture, they've worked hard to find what's commercially viable. And I feel like we're very fortunate to live in a time when all these fruits and vegetables that have been painstakingly bred, not genetically modified, but bred to be in the to bred to, selective, you breed a bunch of different types of broccoli and you pick the kind that's commercially viable. And a lot of hard work went into that, and we're the beneficiaries of that. And to say that, oh, we can't eat carrots because they're not like the ones from the prehistoric times. That's, I think everyone would recognize that as being kind of silly. But there's definitely less fiber and more sugar in all the fruits and vegetables. than their original versions from prehistoric times.
Yeah, and here's one about garlic. Garlic is man-made. I haven't even looked these up, but garlic is man-made. It's an oxide, which is dangerous and does not allow wounds to heal. Um, this one's hard for me to believe because we've seen clinical evidence that it actually can help.
Sure.
So,
Right.
what in
And
the world?
it reminds me if you've ever listened to people say why the earth is flat or why humans never went to the moon, you can make arguments and sometimes the person can be very convincing sounding. So this is all just silly nonsense.
But the best potato, I thought you'd get a kick out of this. Okay. So this is the same organization, Hidden Facts on Health and Nutrition. Okay, the best potato to eat is the red rose. It's the only one generation down from the original found in Lake Titicaca, Peru. And that is where the Irish people became acquainted with it and took it back to Ireland. Remember, the Irish people were one of the first people to go to Peru. They then took the potato back to Ireland and started hybridizing it. This gave birth to all the different hybrids of potato you find today, which should be avoided because of the starch they contain. Starch is a chemical, not a food. So they say the only one you should eat is the red rose. So you shouldn't eat sweet potatoes, is basically what this is saying. But what you and what others say is, well, you shouldn't have starchy vegetables anyway more than one time a week, but it's good to have. They have a lot of nutrient value. So at least get them into your diet once a week. This is saying, nope, don't do it.
So,
I thought
um,
you'd like that one.
yeah, it's just interesting how you can take some facts and start to exaggerate. So, even if this is, has a lot of truth to it, and to be honest, I did not double check. I don't know how much of this is true or false, but what I do know is for people who I um very starchy potatoes. The way potatoes are used when they're cut into French fries and deep fried, when they're mashed and you add cream and butter, when you um, add a lot of fat to potatoes,
Mhm.
they wreak havoc in the body. So um, I sometimes I've eaten those blue potatoes. I really like the color and the
Me too.
color, the color that's in potatoes is healthy, but the starch load that's in them is a problem. And so when I say eat sweet potatoes rather than blue potatoes or these potatoes, we're talking about, it's actually just barely crosses over the line into something that's a little bit more healthy. But the way people use potatoes has a lot to do with whether they're healthy or not.
Yeah, I do like purple sweet potatoes though.
Yes. Hmm.
I think they're good. Okay. So here's another purple vegetable. So here is an interesting one because I've always been told that beetroot is really good for you. And this says beetroot is man made and contains inorganic lead, which can cause mucus buildup, fatigue, sleep disturbance, decreased appetite, nausea and vomiting, abdominal cramps, constipation, headaches, irritability, and anemia. So
Yeah,
beetroot, therefore, is bad for you, is what it's
right.
saying.
It's a bunch of nonsense. Um, so, beets have a lot of health properties, and they do encourage nitric oxide in the
Right?
arteries. I think they taste great. They can raise blood sugar in some people, and there's sugar in beets. They're different from sugar beets, which is farmed specifically for the sugar. This is different from that, but there is, sugar and starch in beets, but there's a lot of fiber. People don't tend to abuse beets and, eat way too many, and so in moderation, I think they're okay. All this nonsense about lead or mucus buildup, etc., all that is just fake news. That's just silly. But there is a such thing as lead in the soil that can contaminate. It hasn't been a big problem in fruits and vegetables that much, and um, we worry more about lead in fish or paint from old houses. That's where people are getting too much lead. Um, and so you can eat beets. You can even eat the greens.
Yep, here's another one. Here's a green. Celery, man-made, has the highest concentration of inorganic salts. We recommend not using it under any circumstances. I saw
Yeah.
another one that said the ones that have the green clear to the root there are fine. It's the ones that have the white clear up
Yeah.
to here that you want to be careful of that are not the good ones. But I was told that even celery could be a really great natural blood thinner.
Oh, yeah, celery is great, and you should eat it if you can. You should eat it if you like it. And I like to use it in my um, tuna salad or chicken salad. And a Waldorf salad is famous for including celery, I believe. So, um, this business about the highest concentration of inorganic salt, that's not clinically, I mean, that's just silly.
I thought you'd like that one. Oh, here are carrots. I know you're
Yeah.
going to love this. Carrots are man-made, meaning unnatural. They lack electricity and are high in sugar and starch. They were created in the early 1800s. It's called a hybrid because it was made by splicing the genes of two natural vegetables, the Queen Anne's lace and the wild yam. When consumed, it's converted into carbonic acid, causing mineral deficiencies such as bone loss. So, eating a carrot is going to lead to bone loss, is what I gather from this. I know you've talked about eating too many carrots can actually increase blood sugar, but I don't know if it's significant. What are your thoughts on overall on carrots?
Oh, no, no. I've never seen anyone eat too many carrots. That's that's not the problem. So, no, carrots are great. And I like carrots every which way, carrot soup as well. And people
Like carrot ginger.
should be eating more carrots. Now, these carrots are not the same as the carrots that were initially discovered in, however many millennia ago. They have been, I would say, improved over time to um, make them grow well and commercially viable. And we're fortunate to have carrots at a good price. For organic carrots are one of the best values in the grocery store if you're trying to eat healthily. And so I don't have anything negative to say about carrots, but I have negative things to say about people who make carrots sound like a problem.
And then we go back to the broccoli. So basically, I mean, we've gone through it. Hopefully, people get the idea to be a little bit more critical of some of these claims that are out there on these faceless channels, and especially ones that don't have physicians attached to them with their face, right? To make sure that their claims are legitimate. You need to make sure they none of these even include the clinical evidence. They just want you to go to Chat GPT, I guess, or Claude or Gemini or Grok or one of the other AI tools and they want you to go look it up. But I've looked up several of these and they all say that this is not true. So I'm imagining if you ask, I always say if you ask the right question, you get the right answer. So if they put in the right question, is it possible that broccoli does not have nutritional value if it goes in one end and out the other? And ChatGPT would come back and say, actually, that's probably true. So maybe there's a part of it, but that still has nutritional value because that means there's fiber and it's pushing things out. That's a good thing as well.
Absolutely. I have found AI. I mainly use ChatGPT personally, and that's just where my experience has been. And when I've asked ChatGPT for about health information, I've been quite satisfied. And as long as you ask the question properly in an unbiased fashion, then you'll get an answer that's medically respectable most of the time. And so
Yep.
it depends how you ask the question. But if you copy and paste right from the ad into the search bar and ask for a critique, you'll probably get a reasonable answer. So I've been, you people are going to the internet for nutrition advice. And that's a double-edged sword. There's a lot of good advice out there, but there's a lot of questionable advice, and it's difficult and frustrating for people to know what's going on. And
Yeah.
that's a service that Kim is trying to offer by
Trying.
having conversations like this. So thank you, Kim.
Yeah, no, thank you so much. But of course, we have Heinz, who always has something funny to say. He says, we were lied to as kids that carrots help eyes. So he has to wear glasses now. And so he's upset that carrots didn't
Mm.
save his sight. They didn't prevent him from wearing glasses. But they are good for your eyes. They are good to keep them healthy. Doesn't mean they prevent you from wearing glasses, though. Ooh. But thank you, Dr. Danziger. Any final thoughts and any final pieces of advice as people are combing the web and seeing the information that is being presented by these faceless channels on how to better understand if it's something that's truth or fallacy, or even if there is some truth?
Right. So it's challenging, and it's becoming increasingly challenging to use the internet as a nutrition source. And um, it doesn't help that different experts seem to have, debates and conflicting opinions. The fact is, there are many good eating strategies, and there's a lot of consensus that fruits and vegetables are the healthiest things that we can eat. And the good news is, there's never been a better time to eat healthily. There, but you have to be able to find what's healthy and omit all of the unhealthy junk out there and just save it for rare special occasions. So um, I'll encourage people to continue to tune in on Mondays, and we'll continue to give solid nutritional advice.
Fantastic. Thank you, Dr. Dansinger. And if you are located in New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Virginia, Minnesota, New York, or Florida, and you have a Medicare or Medicare Advantage PPO plan, you can definitely give a call to Dr. Danzinger, or you could visit his website, diabetesreversalpartners.com, and his services one on one with Dr. Danzinger. You can get them covered by insurance. But if you're not in those states and you don't have those insurance policies, well, you can always tune in. As Dr. Danziger said, every single Monday we are here with office hours 3 to 3:30 Eastern time, 12 to 12:30 Pacific time, Mountain time, where our good friend Heinz is 1 to 1:30. So make sure you all join us. If you want to join our live studio audience, go to info at padhelp.org and we'll add you to our weekly calendar invite. But you can also go to padsupportgroup.org, join our group, and there are notifications there as well. But